Have you ever bought onions, only to find that after just a few days they've already started sprouting, gone soft, or even turned black and smelly with mold? Many people think it's enough to just keep onions in a dry place, but that's not really true. Storing them the wrong way doesn't just lead to waste. It can also affect your family's health. Onions are one of the most common vegetables in the kitchen, showing up in all kinds of dishes from stir-fries and stews to salads. But not everyone knows how to keep them fresh for weeks, or even months, without going bad. Fortunately, a longtime onion farmer once shared with me 5 simple, but highly effective tips to help onions last longer, preventing sprouting, rotting, and loss of flavor. A common mistake people make is storing onions in sealed plastic bags. This traps moisture inside, causing the onions to soften quickly, get soggy, start sprouting, and develop a bad smell. Instead, it's better to use a paper bag or a breathable mesh bag. These allow air to circulate and help keep the onions dry and fresh for much longer. Here's how to do it. It's really simple. Just grab a clean paper bag, then use scissors to cut about 5 to 7 small holes evenly spaced around the bag. These holes allow air to flow through, helping the onions breathe. The holes don't need to be large, just about 0.2 inches, roughly 0.5 centimeter, wide, big enough for ventilation, but small enough to keep the onions from falling out. Then, place your onions inside the bag, but don't overcrowd them. It's best to give each onion some room to breathe. By the way, where are you watching this video from? Drop us a comment and let us know. Now, place the bags in a dry, dark, and cool area away from direct sunlight. A kitchen cabinet corner or a well-ventilated wicker basket works great. And here's an important note. Don't store onions together with potatoes. Potatoes release moisture, which can cause onions to spoil faster, making them soft, mushy, and more likely to rot. Plus, the onions can give the potatoes an unpleasant smell. The best thing to do is keep them separate, each in a cool, dry, well-ventilated, and dark place away from direct sunlight. Have you heard of this method before? A lot of people have tried it and had great results. Why not give it a try today? The second method. Aside from using paper bags, you can also use mesh bags to help keep your onions fresh for longer. This method is super simple too. Just place the onions into a mesh bag. Don't overcrowd the bag. Packing too many onions on top of each other can cause them to bruise and spoil faster. If you have a lot of onions to store, it's best to divide them into several smaller bags. Keep going until all your onions are packed. Once you're done, tie the top of the bag securely with a strong string to keep the onions from falling out. Then, tie another knot to create a sturdy loop so you can hang the bag. Now, hang the bag of onions in a dry, cool, and well-ventilated spot like a hook in the kitchen or near a window. Make sure the bag isn't pressed up against a wall so air can circulate properly. That airflow is key to keeping your onions fresher for longer. This method keeps the onions spaced out and allows air to move between them, which helps prevent mold, rot, and soft spots. It's simple but surprisingly effective for long-term onion storage. Let's move on to the third method 3. First, get yourself a cardboard box. Before placing any onions inside, make sure they're completely dry. There should be no water or moisture on the surface. Any dampness can cause the onions to spoil much faster. Next, gently place the onions in the box. Avoid stacking them on top of one another, as the weight can crush the ones at the bottom. Stacking can lead to bruising, leaking, and eventually rotting. If you have a lot of onions, it's better to divide them into several boxes, instead of piling them all into one. Just keep going until you've stored all the onions you want to keep. Once that's done, close the box and store it in a cool, dry, and well-ventilated place, ideally at a temperature between 1 degree Fahrenheit and 9 degree Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius. Don't store them below 1 degree Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius. as onions can turn soft and lose their crunch. And avoid temperatures above 68 Fahrenheit, 20 °C, as that can lead to sprouting or spoilage. Set aside a little time each week to check your onions. Remove any that have gone soft, started leaking, or begun to rot. This helps prevent the bad ones from affecting the rest. Using this method can help you keep your onions fresh for a long time, reduce waste, and save money too. Here's the fourth method. When you only need part of an onion, cut just the amount you plan to use, and keep the rest with the skin still on. The outer layer acts as a natural barrier, helping protect the unused portion from drying out and from bacteria. Now, take a piece of plastic wrap and place the leftover onion in the center. Wrap it up tightly so the entire cut surface is sealed. Finally, place the wrapped onion in the refrigerator's crisper drawer. Using this method, the leftover onion can stay fresh for about 7 to 10 days, while staying clean, safe, and helping reduce food waste. And if you're looking for something even more convenient, just wait until you hear the next tip. Method number 5. If you want to save cooking time, use a knife to pre-cut onions into shapes suitable for everyday dishes such as slices, dices, or thin strips. Onions aren't just a cooking staple, they're also packed with nutrients. They're a great source of vitamin C, flavonoids, and minerals like chromium, which help the body process sugars, fats, and proteins. In fact, onions are especially beneficial for people with type 2 diabetes or those showing signs of insulin resistance. Once you finish chopping, grab a Ziploc bag or an airtight food container. Place the chopped onions inside. Using a sealed bag or container helps prevent the onion smell from spreading to other foods in your fridge or freezer. If you're using a Ziploc bag, seal it tightly and press out as much air as possible. Now, place the onions in the freezer. Frozen onions can last 3 to 6 months, and they'll retain their flavor if used within that time. When you're ready to cook, you can use the frozen onions straight from the freezer or let them thaw naturally. While they're not ideal for fresh dishes like salads, since they lose their crunch, they're perfect for stir-fries, soups, and stews, saving you time when preparing meals. Don't skip this tip, it's a real time saver for anyone who cooks regularly. So I've just shared 5 simple yet effective ways to keep onions fresh longer and reduce waste. Which method do you think would work best for you? And if you have any other great tips, don't hesitate to share them. Let's help each other out. Little tricks like these can really make everyday life easier and more budget-friendly. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share it with others. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.